I think generally as an outdoor community, we're slowly starting to realise the pressures that we put on the landscape, and actually where we can build paths and direct the pressure onto a single path line is really, really important. And people are starting to understand that actually footpaths don't just appear, they require a lot of work, and it is a resource that they're using. So if folk have been in the mountains all their lives, actually it's quite good to give back where you can, and get involved physically is a great way.
I think it took me a little while to realise there was like a link between things I don't like to see in a mountain, kind of damage, those big wide paths you get, like 10 different paths all in parallel. I think it took me a little while to realise there was a link between me and that, and then there was the ability for me to do something about it. But once the penny dropped, yeah, that's really important, because everyone in the kind of, particularly like the hill walking community, should be trying to give back, and this is a great way to do it. Yeah.
You break through the top layer, you can actually see what your level of peats are. Then you're starting to get looser ground, the water rips through, rips it down, it gullies, and then it gets to a point where this is probably not going to get any worse. But that one will, that one will, that one will, and the next one will, and that's when you end up with a 10-15 metre long erosion scars. I'd say the average hill walker, they can really help with some of the bad erosions by trying to keep to the path wherever possible and not to try and walk too much on the sides. Once the top vegetation's gone, there's very little to stop the water flowing through. It then runs into the peat, and once the peat's washed out, we're down to the bedrock and the sands and the soils, and very little can survive and reclaim that ground until there's some major work done on it.
It would be great if we could just get more outdoor people and more hill walkers realising that this stuff doesn't just happen. Whether it's a contractor spending 2 or 3 years on a path, or whether it's a group of volunteers, there's a huge amount of effort going into improving and maintaining the paths, and actually everybody's got a role. Whether it's just signing a direct debit and actually making a small monthly contribution, or whether it's physically coming out and doing volunteering. And I get the feeling that, people I speak with want to do something, but they don't really see it as being their job. And if we could get that message out that there are lots of different ways in which you can help, of which volunteering is just one, it would really assist, I think.
People don't come to the Highlands necessarily to stay in the kind of hotels or villages so much, but really they come here to go into the mountains, to go on the sea, to walk in the forests. They come here for the countryside, for the beautiful and amazing countryside. And all it's really trying to do is find a way to kind of make that more sustainable, So that's what It's Up to Us is all about. It's a kind of, on the one hand, it's kind of saying to everybody, look, cupboard's bare. It's up to us to kind of do our best to do what we can, and also at the same time say, come on, government, a little bit of your hand in your pocket. We do an awful lot of work.